County legislative body is now in session. Vice Chairman Rick Vassar is presiding. Mayor Rob Mathis president.
Ms. Ball, please, would you have the opening prayer?
Dear Heavenly Father, we'd like to thank you for this night. Thank you for all that are here. We pray, God, that we make decisions that are pleasing to you and to our county and do what's best for our community. And this we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen. Mr. McMahon, please, would you lead us to the pledge?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to welcome you all to the Cocke County CLB meeting this evening. It is July the 1st, 2025. It's good to see all you guys here in support of Cocke County. Thank you very much. With that, we're going to do a roll call, then we'll start our meeting.
Andy Ford.
Here.
Bill Miller.
Here.
Kayla Blazer. Here. Jason McMahon.
Here.
Norman Smith. Tracy Stepp. Jonathan Templin.
Here.
Jeff Esslinger.
Here.
Dan Bright.
Here.
Wilma Ball.
Here.
Rick Vassar.
Yes.
David Verdall.
Here.
Tim Lehman. Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
There you go. 11 here, 3 absent.
Thank you. At this time, I'd like to ask George Barton if he would stand up, please. He has a small something he would like to present to Cocke County, and I will allow that this evening. Mr. Barton, sir. Thank you.
Hey guys, how are you? I'm here tonight. I know I speak to you for a lot of committees, but tonight it's the Cocke County Long-Term Recovery Group. This is Brad Tepscott. He's also with me on the committee. And what we wanted to do is just, one, personally invite you all to an event that's occurring on the 26th and 27th for an anniversary of the flood. So those of you that aren't familiar with us, the long-term recovery was put in motion after the flood, where we've been officially acting in this capacity for about 6 months. Before that, we were helping out on an ad hoc. What we do is we bring in volunteers from all over the country to help rebuilds. And last week, you may have seen, we received a large award from the state to help with debris removal at homes, gravel, and other things. So we're actively working with our partners, county, city, FEMA, United Way, and other funders to do this. We're currently have hundreds of volunteers coming through Cocke County. We have for about a month and continuing. Those are different church groups. We also have Appalachian Service Project that's coming to help rebuild homes. So what we're doing is trying to do that effort, get everybody back to pre-flood conditions. And with the anniversary coming up, our funders, United Way and others, they're doing these remembrances in each county that was affected. And so on Friday evening, there'll be some events in downtown Newport with our colleagues, the city and others are putting those together. And then on Saturday, we have a free event for everybody at the fairgrounds. And that'll be 3 to 6 for kids events, a lot of activities. And again, this is all free. Then 6 to 8, there'll be a rodeo, entertaining. They're trying to get me to ride a bull. I don't think I can do it. That's more than anybody should ask for. But that'll be there, and that's free entertainment. And then 8 to 11 is more music and entertainment. But again, there'll be free food, free admission, everything for the community as a whole. We really want this to be one where we have earlier in the week some remembrances of the losses. And then Friday and Saturday, we really want to have this an event and also celebrate all the hard work and show our appreciation to the first responders and everybody that participated, including all of you, the county, the mayor, and others that led us through all of this. So it's easy to send an email, it's easy to do other things, but I want to personally come and invite all of you as colleagues to help us all celebrate. Brad, anything else?
You did such a
Hey,
great job.
look at
I
that.
didn't think I need to.
All right.
Appreciate it. Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thanks, guys.
Any members have any questions for Mr. Barton? Thank you all. Thank you,
Okay,
Mr.
thank
Barton.
you.
Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Jim. Next, I would like to just remind you guys, there is a special call meeting, July the 1st, excuse me, July, hold on,
You got it.
July the 28th, I'm sorry, and that will be the special call meeting to take in the budget for Cocke County for 2024 and 25, is that correct?
That is correct. We haven't received that in our office yet. I was gonna go by your office tomorrow, Mayor, to pick up the budget. So if you wanna come down to the office, or if you want us to mail them out, we'll go ahead and mail them. but
So that
we'll have
meeting
to go.
is July the 28th, guys,
It's
at
next Monday.
6 o'clock PM, and that will be to take on the budget. Thank you. The next is the approval of minutes. Y'all have do I have a motion to, or any comments on the approval of the last minutes? Excuse me.
June 16th.
Yeah, the June 16th is when those were. Do I have a motion to accept those minutes, Mr. Birdow, Mr. Esslinger? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Okay, with that being said, I have another one here that we need to approve. It's going to be in the matter of approving the minutes of a special call CLB meeting on May the 5th, 2025. If you all need to know about that, that was when we resent the zoning and voted and re-voted on the zoning. So for some reason, we didn't approve those minutes. So I'll need a motion to approve the minutes in a second. Mr. Esslinger? Okay, Mr. Templin? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? Okay, that's approved. Thank you, guys. Okay, the next thing on the agenda will be the election and the appointments and notaries. We have Lessa A. Hope, Stephen Veliz, Monica Kinsley, Kimberly Dawn Strange, Robin Howland, Melissa Bowles, Diana Grigsby, and Robin Henderson. Do I have a motion to accept? Mr. Miller and Mr. Hudson. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any nays? That's approved.
Thank you. Please.
In the matter of accepting the following quarterly reports for Cocke County Circuit Court. Y'all have or your copies enclosed. Do I have a motion to accept? Okay, Mr. Esslinger, Mr. Miller, do we need a roll call on that? Let's just go ahead and do a roll call on it.
We usually do. How about you? Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Gayla Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp, Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Brock,
Yes.
Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Verdahl,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. 11 in person.
Now here's the other part we
Yeah.
have to do.
Let's see. What you, so what we got?
Okay.
This one.
Also, in the matter of to accepting the following annual reports, in the matter of accepting the, it'll be the trustee, Cocke County Clerk, Juvenile Court, Register of Deeds, Sessions Court, and the Sheriff's Department. All your copies are enclosed. Do I have a motion to accept? Ms. Bowles? Mr. Bright? We'll do a roll call on that one also.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Gayla Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp, Jonathan Tiplin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Bright,
Yes.
Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar.
Yes.
David Verdahl,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, 11-3.
Thank you. In the matter of any committee reports, Budget Committee. Okay. Sanitation Committee.
None at this time.
Okay. General Committee. Okay. Public Safety, we'll be getting a public safety together here before too much longer, and we'll try to meet on the public safety. The next thing is purchasing. Okay. Rafting Committee.
We'll be trying to get a meeting together sometime in August,
Okay.
so.
Let me just ask a quick question. How's our rafting doing? Have you got any type of input on that?
They're happy to be in the water and be rafting, because we know some areas around us, they're not getting to do it. But everything's going good.
Good. Thank you, Mr. Neal. In the matter of a report from the county mayor, Mr. Mathis.
Mr. Chairman, I only have two things to present tonight, and they're just more informational than anything. I spoke with the sheriff and also with the city of Newport in the partnership, and for commemorations, since the long-term recovery group brought that up, we're going to have a joint commemoration at, this will be on Friday, the 26th of September, and at 9:40 a.m. we will have a commemorative ceremony marking the 1-year anniversary. And the reason we're doing it on Friday is so that we're working together with the long-term recovery group to don't step on their activities. But we'll be doing that, and the reason 9:40 is because that's when the first call for help came in. There's the approximate time. Number two is, I want to thank the Budget Committee. I know we'll be having a special call meeting about that, but I want to thank the folks in the Budget Committee. A lot of hard choices were made. But we are presenting the recommendation for a budget that does not include a tax increase. That's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Very good. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Is that the ceremony on the courthouse lawn here?
It will be at the courthouse, yes, sir.
You say that's September or August?
26th,
September.
Friday, September 26th at 9:48.
Okay.
Any more questions for the mayor? Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In the matter of a report from any of the county commissioners. Did I miss him?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. I missed him. I missed our
It's
county
just
attorney.
Gavin. It's just-
Mr. County Attorney.
That's okay, Mr. Chairman, I'm overlooked a lot. I deal with it. I'll stand at the lectern if you don't mind. It's good to see everyone tonight. I don't really have anything specific to report. I'm being sent in John's stead tonight. He was in Honduras this past week for a mission trip, very successful. He's back, but he was at a school board meeting tonight. So, like I said, nothing specific to report tonight. As you all know, we're working on various litigation matters, contracts, questions from the county mayor's staff, and from county commissioners. So nothing specific, all general, but I do want to give you all the opportunity to ask questions. I'm happy to field any questions, but I'd much prefer to defer to the county attorney, John Owens. That's all I have otherwise.
Any questions for Devin, our county attorney? Thank you.
Thank you, Gavin.
Thank you. Any, in the matter of a report from any of the county commissioners? Any of you guys got anything? And I have something, of course, you know I do. I want to thank you all for what you do for Cocke County. I want to thank each one of you for the hard work that you put in. And I'd just like to,
I've got a question.
okay, sir.
Where do we stand on this jail situation?
I'm glad you asked that. The last word we have from FEMA is that they are backtracking on the bed count from the 216 to the 88. Now, we have enlisted Attorney General Dunn, has weighed in on that for us in our, to try to weigh in our favor. We requested help from the governor's office, and we have engaged 5 members of Congress, our 2 senators, our representative, plus 2 representatives that are outside of our district, but who want to help. So they are going to be helping us to engage FEMA, and if goodness gracious, if that doesn't do it, I don't know what else will. So we're continuing to fight that fight on a daily basis. But as soon as we have any progress, the good news is, we haven't heard anything back from FEMA yet, so that means that we've not had we're not heading to an appeal, at least not yet. We want to get that decision made before then, so that we don't have to go through the appeal process and waste more time and money with inmates being all over the place than we have to. We want to get the ground broken on this project as quickly as possible, but we want to do everything we can to make sure that it's the right size and the right place that we need to do. Does that answer your question?
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Commissioner.
Mr. Dunn, would you like to add anything to that, sir? Since your name was brought up, would you like to address the CLB with maybe some concerns, or?
I have a lot of concerns about that, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sir.
And I have been in touch with the mayor, talked to the mayor and many of those same folks that he named there, trying to get up, and we've got to have the correct number. We can't stay at 88, I believe 88 was we've got to have more beds than that. It's a waste of money to build something
Outdated, but,
yeah. So, but we are working, we're doing the best we can do right now, trying to contact all these people and get their support and get somebody from FEMA to go along with it. So right now we're hung up on that, but I think we're moving in the right direction.
I would like to thank you for helping the citizens of Cocke County with this, and the sheriff and these CLB members. I'd like to thank you for coming forth to help us, sir. Thank you. Sheriff, I'll give you the opportunity. Would you like to say anything at all about that jail situation? I know you've had your hands full, sir.
Yeah, it's a slow process, but I mean, it's drowning us to, we're housing 88 inmates in a 52-bed jail in Jefferson County. And, that's completely unacceptable. There's nothing we can do on that other than work with General Dunn's office, which we've done well today, and try to get some inmates released. Luckily, we've been able to transfer 25 more inmates to 3 or 4 other counties in East Tennessee. We got to bring them back next week. They've all got COVID. But it's, you know, the process is slow. It'd be great if it would move a lot quicker. But I mean, there's money that gets spent every day. You know, the longer it takes. I mean, it's just facts are facts. I mean, obviously, ain't nothing to do about it. But I mean, jail medical is our biggest concern. Also, we're running out of 2 different counties, 2 different facilities, and it won't be long before these other counties probably will start sending medical bills. Medical's big. And, you know, people ask questions on medical. Why are we paying that? Well, that's state law. You have to pay for inmates' medical. And I mean, you know, just a few months ago, I was telling a couple of commissioners earlier, we've had to do a hip replacement on the guy, a double hip replacement while he's in custody. And we've got a couple that have cancer. I mean, that's medical treatment. That's every day. They're having to be transported back and forth to facilities. And we have to go to Campbell County, Granger County, pick them up, transfer them to the medical appointment, take them back. And it's just, you know, courts is doing what they can. They've been very helpful, the judges. We're going to work on something now to try to get some of these misdemeanor violations and things like that, maybe get a bond set. You know, we ain't never done that in the past, but the first offense violation probably ain't too bad on a misdemeanor, but, you know, it also, when it comes to us doing and enforcing laws, you know, whether it's city, state, TWRA, or whatever, you know, it's holding us back. You know, it affects us in operation. We can't control. People have to go to jail, unfortunately. You know, but we're trying to run on a COVID standard type deal where we cite people in on small misdemeanor cases, just trying to do that. But, I mean, obviously, it's going to happen where they have to go to jail. But we're doing the best we can. You know, it's just, it can be costly. But, I mean, they got civil rights, and we've got rights, and laws we have to follow federal and state level. And obviously, the general knows that, and he has to abide by the law just like I do. But, you know, it'll be nice when we get something. But, it's going to take some time to get there.
I just have a question, and it's for both of you all, I guess, and I know y'all talk every day, but What, even if we get approved to get 216 beds, which I know Tennessee says that's what we need and all that kind of stuff, what is the goal? I mean, you have a long-term goal, because even building the jail is gonna take 3 to probably 4 years. So as our county, what's our plan going forward with that? Just doing what we're doing, or are you looking at doing something? I mean, because it is gonna be, it's not like if we get approved that we can build a jail in a year. I mean, it's gonna take 2 or 3 years.
We just gotta pray Jefferson County don't kick us out.
I mean, I understand, but I was just wondering if there was a plan other than what's,
Once we get beyond the 216 capacity.
yeah, I know, no, I'm saying right now, are we just gonna go for the next 3 years of doing what we're doing now, or is there a plan, a longer sort of plan in place of what we can do? Because it's gonna take, what, 3? I heard 3, maybe 5 years to build a jail from beginning to end.
It depends on who the contractor is that gets the bid,
Yeah,
how it works. Hamlin County has built a 650 bed jail, took them 3 years.
yeah,
St. Sullivan County's fixing to open up a 700 or 800 bed facility. That was shocking to me, they just built a 750 bed facility for $108 million. And Hamlin County built a 100 or 650 bed jail for about $108 million. So I'm saying that would have to be half the cost of what we were going to have to pay, I would hope. But their stuff was in contracting plans 3 or 4 years ago, so obviously things increased. No, the plan is, gotta be a plan what we're doing. You can't do anything temporarily. We've done work on that with FEMA. That's
I mean, what I'm asking, I guess, is that plan, but where's that money gonna come from? I mean, the money part of it, because we're gonna have to pay out a lot over the next 2 or 3 years for these inmates. So do we have a plan to be able to pay for it in the county?
I can handle some of that. The sheriff and I are working very closely together. The sheriff is a couple things. Sheriff's we're trying to utilize plans for existing jails, so that way we don't have to reinvent the wheel, so that'll speed the process up, especially on the engineering side. We have a location for it to go, so that's and we've already did the drilling last year or so on that, so that's all looking good. Again, we just have to get the approvals. And to your point about, let's say it's a 3-year build process. We're spending, Sheriff, correct me if I'm wrong, about $2 million a year. It's costing us, not having a jail is costing us about $2 million of excess costs a year. So this year, there's been folks on Facebook been talking about, where's that ARPA money? Where's that ARPA? Well, that's the ARPA money.
Yeah.
And the ARPA money is money that was on other projects, other grants that we petitioned the governor's office, and thank goodness we petitioned them to essentially waive the matching funds for some grants, because we changed the scope on some projects to where they didn't need the matching funds to complete the projects. So we said, those SS funds, can we put those towards these operating costs? And we got a yes on that. So we have this coming year paid for through that. And we're currently working on, my goal is to have 4 years worth of those funds set aside so that we don't have to put those excess costs that we're going to endure until we get the jail built on the taxpayers. So that's our goal, is to raise minimum of $2 million a year for the next 3 to 4 years. So we're working towards that. We've got some possibilities that we're working on. I hope does that answer your question, Commissioner?
It does. I just have one other question. 216, I know that was something that the state recommended that we had to have. If we're forced and we don't get those monies and we just have that for the 88, it's going to come out of county funds some way, right? I mean, if we don't get those funds, we're going to have to build it. But would the jail be certified? If it won't be certified, if we just have those 88 beds, right?
216's minimum.
So that's what I just wanted people to realize, is 216 is what the state told us.
Yes.
For us to have a certified jail, we have to be, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
To be certified, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
I'm worried about FEMA dragging us out 2 or 3 years. That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, we all are.
Yeah.
And that's why we're enlisting all the heavy hitters and the big guns that we can. Anyways, well, I went to D.C. back in March, and that's one reason why we have, I'll just take who they are, Representative Fleischman, Representative Burchett, Representative Harshbarger, Senator Blackburn, Senator Haggerty, and the governor. We've had conversations with all those folks, and thank you to General Dunn for weighing in on that and pitching in with us. We've got all these folks going back for us, and we're engaging those folks regularly. I've actually got an appointment with Senator Burchett here coming up. It will be right after next month's meeting. We're meeting with him, but they're contacting FEMA and working on our behalf on a lot of this stuff. So we're doing everything we can. It's you know, if we can get to the president, we'll get to the president. But whoever we need to talk to, we'll talk to.
Just know this is bleeding us to death.
Yeah.
Bleeding.
It's and you think, what could we be doing with that? We're
Yeah,
having
those ARPA funds could be used for something else if we're not, if we weren't having to do that for the jail. That's, I mean.
exactly. The good side of it, the one positive about the ARPA funds is they had to be spent before next September anyway.
Right.
So, but at the same time, we've got a lot of other things that we could use them on. That's for sure.
Right.
That's true. That you know, we have to do what we have to do.
Right.
I do have one question. What is the exact address that we're looking at for the location of the new jail?
It's on Cocke Boulevard. When you go down Cocke Boulevard, you got the street, so you got Licia. It's all the land before you get to Licia.
Yes.
And then the police department has purchased property at the old Ryan Clock Company.
Mhm.
And I think that's where they're going to build a new police department and build the animal shelter control building. And then your other department will be across the street from that.
Is there any fear of a flood, it being in the flood zone?
I think if it would have happened, it would have happened a year ago.
Okay.
But it's not in place.
It's not
I
plain.
know it's close.
They will have to build it up.
Yeah.
And bring it up level with the road and make sure there's drip just in case. That's just rules. But, yeah, I don't foresee that. And I sure hope not our lifetime again.
Commissioner, the good part about that is the county already owns the property, so we don't have to worry about where to buy it from.
Right. Well, I just didn't want us to be facing this again.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. And the sheriff is very wise, and when he's talking to folks from the state, he's looking at building a facility that will also have capacity for expansion in the future if needed. So that, as you said, when 216 gets to where that's no longer sufficient, it'll be almost like a Lego set that you just put another pod onto, you know, just clamp on what we got there.
Okay.
Yeah. It's kind of designed where they built it, but it's not complete. Yeah, it's just, Monroe County's got that, now all they've got in them other two rooms is rock in the floor, so. But it gives you that opportunity to be able to build it if you had to, and quick, so you don't have to wait 3 years.
And then you bring up about funding too. The governor's relief fund, the long-term recovery group, you know, they got 1.7 million. The county didn't receive any of those funds, but none of the counties received any of those funds because the state has got some of those relief funds held in reserve, waiting to see what happens with FEMA because they don't want to commit state money. There's going to be duplication of benefits. It would just be a waste because it would just be replacing federal ones. So the promise from the governor's office is there will be funds available. It's just we have to go through the FEMA process first to see what they're going to pay for and what they're not. So that is another source that we're going to be looking to now. We're going to do everything. We're not going to put all our hopes and dreams on that, but we are going to look at that as an opportunity that we're going to pursue aggressively.
Thank you.
This is just for a jail, right, not Justice Center? Or are we looking at Justice Center?
Well, the one thing that we've talked about with FEMA on this is we should get, and Sheriff, you correct me to make sure that we understand the same thing. We should get a courtroom to go with this, because what we're having to do is replace the annex. It's building for building. So what will be replaced, it will be kind of a justice center because you'll have the jail. It's kind of two projects in one. You'll have the jail piece with all where the inmates stay, but then you've also got so many square feet of courtroom, and you've got so many square feet of office space. It's going to be rebuilt 1-for-1 plus codes and standards. So there should be a courtroom with all the accompanying office space that goes with that. So we'll get a jump start on a justice center with that.
Any more questions? Thank you guys, appreciate it. Mr. Brady, in the matter of a report from the Cocke County Partnership. Welcome.
Thank you, sir. And I've got several handouts here for everyone.
Thank you.
The first handout I provided you, and on the report, we have all-stop bike trails. To give you an update on that, we're moving along on that. We did send out for bid a procurement process. The U.S. Forest Service requires us to submit a business plan. So we have found someone who has agreed to write the business plan. He's been procured under guidelines or contracts, and we are moving forward with him, and we've got 60 days to work on that. You do have a handout there from Keep Cocke County Beautiful. They've agreed to support or offered up a letter of support for the maintenance of the facilities. We have to build a trailhead that has to have a restroom, parking lot, a gate, and a kiosk that goes along with that grant. The parking lot can be a gravel parking lot, so that is a good possibility. We still need a resolution from the CLB or from the county that says that we will stand behind the maintenance of this project long term. I have no idea how much sales tax revenue will come into the county, but I will try to get you some figures on that. It came from a market feasibility study, and I'll try to get you a sample resolution that you are comfortable with. So if you would provide me some guidance on that, maybe I can work with your county attorney and the county mayor, then he can email you out something, and then everybody can take a look at it, and then you can kind of adjust it as you will. We will need that adopted sometime in August so that we can get that into the U.S. Forest Service. The Forest Service basically has told me you have to have somebody stand behind the maintenance. And there was, in a previous agreement, there was a private developer that offered a 99-year lease, but had control of some grant funds on that, and that was kind of gave us pause for concerns. But the Forest Service wants a known entity that's stable and is going to be here tomorrow. We have worked it out with Appalachian Mountain Bike Club in Knoxville. We don't have any capital cost on that, but they've agreed to come up and do that and simply provide the labor, and we have to pay for the labor and the gas for them to come up and do it. Since we don't have to buy chainsaws and trucks and all the other equipment, that's probably a good deal for us, and that's the best deal I can find for us. So that's the handout I have for you. That's the only thing I need from you is a renovation on that, or excuse me, a resolution. Item number 2, Smoky Mountain Innovation Park. I've given you a handout. Somebody's got the first one that had a little drawing on it. But this is a master concept of your Smoky Mountain Innovation Park. We're going to make one more adjustment on it. If you'll see right above the car wash, there's a little space right there. We're going to try to convert that into a commercial lot so that we can generate revenue for the county and turn around and put that back into the county. We did make our note payment on the industrial park this past week, and so we're all squared away on that at least for another year. TVA has been super helpful on this, but this is a concept plan of what it potentially could look like, and TVA's offered up their assistance in signage and some other things. We will have one sign going up this week. They've dug the footers for it and laid in concrete. And so hopefully that'll be up by the end of the week. So that's what potential of the industrial park could look like. We have been responding to some RFIs or requests for information on potential projects, and we are constantly working that. The last item that I have to report to you, whenever the flood happened, Mayor Mathis asked the partnership if they would set up an account to handle the distribution of funds. And so when I got here, I told you that every penny came in, every penny would go out. So I'm happy to report to you today that as of last Friday, we wrote checks, and as of last Friday, distribution funds have been distributed to individuals, businesses, small businesses, whitewater rafting businesses, folks that need elevation certificates, folks who need reimbursement on the property taxes. So on my report, you'll need to update your figure. On my report, I've got only $1 million there, but that updated figure according to your handout, and this gives you a detailed list of where every penny went, and that's $1.4 million has gone out in this community. Now, that came from individuals from all over the United States, but the majority of that, thankfully, and they deserve all the credit in the world, came from Bush Beans. And Bush Beans made a $1 million donation to this county, and we have distributed their funds, and I'll be meeting with them next week, and I'll be sharing with them the same handout you have received of where all these funds went. So when I told you every penny that went in, every penny would go out, because we have a zero bank balance, and I had to tell Nicole, go put $100 in so that we don't get one of those notes or anything like that. But that's where all the funds in this county went. And it's been an honor to, privilege to serve you in that way. And I want you to know it's been a process of integrity. And we've had a subcommittee that reviewed all of these applications. I did not sit in on the subcommittee, but the subcommittee was made up of several individuals in this community, and they reviewed all these applications, and all those funds have gone out. So, Mr. Chair, I'll not take up any more of your time, but I wanted to share this in an effort to communicate with you guys, to provide you some information, to provide that. I do have one other item. There was a gentleman approached me about some land that the county owns, and so I contacted the Register of Deeds, and he doesn't know if the county owns it or not, but we're trying to do some research on that. I've had a small businessman say that he's interested in that property, so we're doing some research on that, so I probably will be coming back to you with that, and then I'm coming back to you with yet another final plan on that. But also, we're getting our audits done, so we're trying to get all our I's dotted and all our T's crossed at the partnership. Thank you for your service. I know what it means to be an elected official, having served myself. I know you can't go to Food City or Walmart and get a jug of milk without somebody wanting to talk about something. So I appreciate your service, and feel free to call me anytime you have any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Brady?
Thank you.
Okay. I do have one question before you run off. The information that you asked about the CLB making a decision and taking it to the mayor and the county attorney, do we want to make a decision on that now to allow the mayor and the county attorney to work?
If you would allow me to work with them on drafting a resolution for your consideration. The final vote is up to you, and it's your call. But I desperately need your help, because that bike trail project, I've contacted the two owners at the bottom of the trail about establishing the trailhead. The good news is both of them are willing to work together. Both of them are willing to work for the benefit of Cocke County. We have monthly meetings with the Department of Economic and Community Development. The State of Tennessee Tourism Commissioner sits in on these meetings. So we're making progress. We've had a lot done on this in the last 2 or 3 months. And I think the mayor has sat in on a few of those meetings as well. And I think he would attest to the fact that we're working diligently trying to get those done. What we'd like to do is hire or put out a request for qualifications, hire a construction administrator. So once the Forest Service approves the plan and gives us the green light, we then hire a construction administrator, and no cost to you, this all comes out of the grant. And once that's done and he's procured, or she or the company is procured according to county purchasing policy procedures, then they in turn will put out bids for trail builders. They will select 2 or 3 different trail builders. Most likely that'll have to happen in the fall of 2026, unless we have a miracle happen and we could get them out in the spring. But your trails have been designed by a world-renowned trail designer who has been all over the world and done this. So we're very lucky in that regard. We're very lucky that Senator Lamar Alexander chose Cocke County. I was there at the meeting, ironically, at day 1 when they chose this, and he said, no, I want to help Cocke County. So you're going to have some of the best bike trails in the eastern United States, and we have also obtained commitments from the Whitewater Rafters. They've pledged to work with us as well. If we can kind of put them in the business of hauling people up on the shuttle to the top of the mountain, letting people ride down, that's the only thing I'm interested in is riding down. I'm not interested in riding up and back down. I'm not in good enough shape to do that, but, if we could do that, then we're probably looking at trying to break ground in fall of '26 when the foliage is off, September, October, November. And, I'd like to push it up to the spring if we could, so, but that's,
You said you were gonna try to work up some general ideas what you think the maintenance is gonna cost.
yes, I've got maintenance estimates. First, I've got maintenance estimates, and I've received it from the trail designer A, B, and C, and I called him back, and I said, you got to cut. So finally, I found this Appalachian Mountain Biking Club in Knoxville, Tennessee. They do all the maintenance for the bike trails for the Knoxville Urban Wilderness Bike Trails. And they do all the maintenance for Knox County Parks and Recreation Department on a contract basis. So I went down and met with them. I said, please. I said, tell you what, we'll help you out because we think this is going to be the biggest thing in the state as far as mountain biking. So they said, we'll do it and we'll provide our own equipment, but you just got to pay for our people to come up there, the gas to get them up there, and then the time on the trail doing the work. And of course, you know, if we can keep Cocke County beautiful, help out with restrooms and some other stuff, we can do that. But we're looking at probably in 2026, these are all estimates, probably somewhere around $60,000. But I would think we would probably experience at least double that in sales tax. And we can allocate some of that from either the tourism fund or the hotel motel tax, whatever you do. You know, it's your call, but, you know, unfortunately, we find ourselves to make this thing go, we're gonna have to stand behind the maintenance.
The county will get 80% of that, right? Because that's the county project up there with, or like the county city split, we'll get to keep 80% of the sales tax rate.
Oh, well, it's not in the city, so that would be, for every dollar spent, $2.75, 2.75% of every dollar spent will come to us.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a step out in faith, but, you know, we're in the business of bringing people to Cocke County.
Any more questions for Mr.?
Yeah. What exactly is the trailhead going to be?
The trailhead, there's an opportunity for 4 of them on these trails. The trails will be built in 3 phases. The first phase is about 11 miles. The trailhead at the bottom of the trail is going to have to go either on that property where Clark Cemetery Road is, and there's another parcel right beside it that's a 1-acre parcel that was cut in 2. It's owned by Nantahala Outdoor Center, and the other one's owned by Kelly Williamson, in full disclosure. And they both have said, we want to see this be successful, we'll work with you. So if we have to purchase out of the grant funds, we may have to purchase an acre from each one or a half an acre from each one. And I've got a meeting on Thursday in Knoxville with the engineers to figure out how we build that trailhead. Now, the trailhead has got to have the restroom in the parking lot on property that we own or lease, the county. Because if we put it on the Forest Service, you can't do that. That opens up a whole other can of worms with NEPA and environmental stuff. So we want to avoid that at all costs. So what you got to do is put a trailhead that you can, let's say you're within 500 yards of going to the bike trails. So that the trailhead, to answer your question, will be at the bottom right there off the interstate.
Okay, lady, okay, go ahead.
I'm sorry, one quick question. When you say restrooms, are you being liberal when you say that as far as, is this going to be porta johns or is it going to be actual restrooms?
That's a good question. I'll have a better answer for you after Thursday, after a meeting with the engineering company. And I'll say, I would think probably restrooms with field lines is what I'm guessing.
Just a water access right there.
There is not water access at that current site, so, but it's within striking distance of water out there, so I'm not too worried about that.
Mr. Chairman, I'd just like to commend Mr. Brady on the work that he's done. Both of these projects, these are probably the two of the most biggest impact projects, the bike trails and the industrial park. We're talking about jobs in two different areas of the county and two different economic sectors, economic drivers. And both of these are projects that have been languishing for many, many years. Well, they've been talked about for ages. But Mr. Brady, who has been less than a year as he was interim during the floods, but I guess earlier this year he became the official head of the Cocke County Partnership. And in that time, since January of this year, Mr. Brady has now picked these balls that were fumbled up and he's run for the end zone with them. And both of these projects will either be completed or well underway within a year. So I just want to commend him for the work that he's doing, and he's really helping this county and all the people here. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. With that being said, I agree. At this time, I don't think we have to vote on anything to let the mayor's administration and Mr. Brady work together, because he has not brought us anything tonight to vote on. So unless one of you guys have an issue, then we would probably just allow the system to go forward, let Mr. Brady work with the mayor's administration and everyone involved to bring us back something to vote on. Is that okay? Okay, with that being said, I would like to thank the mayor's administration also, and I would like to thank each one of you guys again, because you all have been a big part of these two projects. You've been in very good support of them, and I appreciate it. And
When did this bike trail stuff actually start?
It actually started.
I mean, I've been listening to it I've been here almost 4 years, I've heard it for 4 years.
You know, I think it actually started in 2018 or 19. And ironically, I was sitting there at the very first meeting as a representative for Congressman Rowe when Senator Alexander convened the meeting. And he asked the Park Service, to his credit, he asked the Park Service to come back with ideas. And at the time, the idea was to use this federal land that's not going to be used for anything for another 50 or 75 years. He said, give me some ideas. And the Park Service came back and said, well, we think you ought to put some bike trails over in Townsend. And he said, no, I want to help Cocke County. So then that threw it over to the Foothills Parkway on this side of the entertainment complex. And then the Park Service determined that was too steep on the Foothills Parkway, and then they went to Green Mountain, and then a representative of the Forest Service said, well, why don't you use Hallstop Mountain? And so then it just kind of hung around for a long, long time, to say the least. But I do think, and I talked to a guy today who we're contracting with to write the business plan. He's dealt with the Forest Service before. And he told me, he said, you know, I've done an ARC grant, and we were just marveling at getting a grant for $1.5 million. And he said, you received a $6 million grant. And initially there was a $500,000 study. The county only had $75,000 in that study. And then once that study was done, then there was $6 million. And then I think there's probably about $5.5 million left to acquire land, build restrooms, build a parking lot, and construction of the trails in 3 phases. And there's a lot of federal, I just thought I knew federal bureaucracy when I worked in Congress, but boy, I've learned a lot. There's a lot of stuff going on. That old phrase, you know, that they say, there are 2 great lies. One of them says, when somebody shows up and says, we're from the federal government, we're here to help you. And then the second lie is when the community says, we're glad you're here.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Mr. Brady. Do we have a representative from Priority Ambulance Service in the matter of a report? Y'all have a copy enclosed. Okay. In the matter of a report from Keep Cocke County Beautiful, I would just like to say their names were mentioned in this bike trail, and if there is a representative or anyone that belongs, I would like to thank Cocke County, Keep Cocke County Beautiful for stepping up and allowing themselves to help with the bike trail. I appreciate that. In the matter of a report from the Cocke County Corrections Partnership Committee. That's,
I think we covered everything we did.
okay, we'll go right into the new business. In the matter of approving the renewal of the amendment to the health service agreement between QCHC of Tennessee, PLLC, and Cocke County, Tennessee. Copies are enclosed. So do we have a motion to accept?
I've got some information. Listen,
Okay.
there's a lady that's supposed to have been here for QCHC, she got stuck in Knoxville, Loudoun County, interchange. That's been $25,900 for the last, I can't even tell you, 8 years. The reason why you'll see an increase, it was at $34,000, and after some negotiations with the owner of QCHC, we've been able to get that back down to 29. What that's gonna do is that's gonna add 3 full-time nurses, RN nurses, and I think a part-time nurse into the facility. Right now, we only have 2. So that's gonna add a position and a half. And then the reason behind that is you've got the old jail upstairs for intake, and when they come in and they got a medical condition, something happens, the nurse takes 40 minutes to get her ducks in a row in Jefferson County, drive all the way to Newport. Well, it only takes 2 seconds for them to die. So the jailers have to make medical decisions to get them rushed to the hospital by ambulance, or we have to take them up there, and that is going to filter to have a nurse up here and the one in Jefferson County, and then we'll have an overall supervisor nurse that will fill in and work 5 days a week. And that's why, and that'll slow down on some of the medical costs. Medical costs out the roof this last budget year, pretty high. And a lot of that came from them having to work down there with most of the inmates, and then jailers had to send them to the ER here. But, you know, to keep the inmates from something happening serious, that's gonna cover that for an additional, just around a little over $3,000 more. And that'll give us medical 7 days a week, 12 hours a day.
So they're licensed practical nurses,
Oh, yeah.
not RNs.
No,
The
they're
2 extras.
nurses. They're registered nurses, and we have a full-time nurse practitioner.
Well, it says in the amendment here, it says provide 1 full-time registered nurse
Yeah, I think the others would be
and
LPN.
2 LPNs.
Yeah.
Yeah,
One
you just
registered
said-
nurse, 2 LPNs, part-time nurse, and then we've got a full-time, well, I can't say she's full-time nurse practitioner and doctor, but Dr. Bates and his doctor facility, they come in once every other week and check on medical and check on the inmates and make sure they're getting what they're supposed to from their nurses. So and we've had them, like I said, probably 18 years, and it works.
Compared to what we used to do, this is over and above beyond. I mean, this is,
Yeah, and it's a lot of liability too, if you ain't got medical.
yeah.
And it's saved a lot. This year's been a little bit higher than most years, but it used to be well over $1 million in jail money.
You know, in the
Now it's
normal
between
situation.
5 and 7. You know,
Yeah.
this year it went up a little bit. That was hospital mistake.
Any questions for the sheriff on this? Okay, so do I hear a motion to approve Hudson and McMahon? Do we need a roll call?
Yes.
A roll call vote, please.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Gayla Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp, Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Bright,
Yes.
Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Verdoff,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
About 11-3, sir.
Okay, that motion passed. Next would be in the matter of a rental agreement for the Cocke County Sheriff's Office for the detective unit. Would you like to speak on that, Mr. Sheriff? Just to feel they have copies.
Yeah, the detective division, might not know. The detective division was in the annex, and basically what we've done is we've already been in the facility since September 27th of the school system give us, it didn't cost us anything up until this July. They'll start, I think it's $600 a month. And that's, our criminal investigation building had to be, it's out there at the professional development building out behind Christmas. They've been there since about the first week of October. But that's where their office was flooded, so they don't know where else to put them, so that's where they're. And I think the school system just more or less, that's paying for, basically just been there, $600 a month, cheapest I've ever found, so. That's where they're at.
Any more questions for the sheriff? Okay, do I have a motion to approve? Mr. Miller, Mr. Bright, we'll do a roll call vote on that also.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Caleb Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stapp, Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Bright,
Yes.
Wilma Law,
Yes.
Rick Faster,
Yes.
David Verdall,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Motion passed. In the matter of a rental agreement for the Cocke County Clerk's Office for County Archives. Ms. McClure, if you want to speak, you can. Y'all have a copy enclosed. All right?
We're in the same ship as the detectives were. You know that Chris Hoagland, he was in the basement of the mayor's office, and the water went all the way to his ceiling. You know, Balfour, they brought in our first shipment, and so talked to Casey, Kelly, and Manny, and right beside the detectives, they're gonna lease us out that office space for him to start going through everything that Balfour's bringing. It's 9 transfer loads of all the records that was down in the basement. So I'd appreciate it if, and it's the same thing with the sheriff. I think it's $650 or $750.
Here's 600 for the sheriff.
Yeah, I think ours is $650 maybe. You can't rent a house for that.
I do have a question. It's the school system that's renting it to us,
Absolutely, yes.
so aren't they just giving it?
Well, that's why they gave us such a low price, is because they didn't want to put no more on the county, and it's more or less just for upkeep of it, just like the
And
sheriff.
I think they're kind of required. There was something I was talking to them about from the state, comptroller's office or something, maybe they brought something up. They had, that's, their contract is written based off how that should have been written. I don't think they can. I mean, we got the electric bill, they're taking care of all the maintenance and all the upkeep through the bill. If air conditioning units go out, plumbing goes out, they fix it. So it's probably just a maintenance of effort type thing to cover the cost.
And ours is 1,100 square feet. I don't know what.
I think ours is 2,000,
I got the-
1,500, 2,000.
But we had to put him somewhere. He was in my office. And there was no, I don't have room for him to go through all the books that are coming back. And he has to have his own office. And we talked to the mayor's office about getting his copy machine, of course, was in the flood. So, yes,
Is
sir.
this stuff Balfour couldn't salvage, or
They did salvage.
they did salvage this
Yes.
stuff?
So now he has to go through, I think we got in 112 boxes or pallets on the first run. And I think next month, is that right, that they're gonna bring us another tractor load full that he has to go through. And it's still in the books, but they gamma rayed it, and so there's no bacteria or mold or anything on it. So we gotta figure out, you know, like make copies of those pages. Some of them are real light, and put them in an archive box or get them on archival paper. I have talked to, my IT people. We go through I3 verticals and ask them, cause most county clerks are over the archives, and ask them if they had a program for him to have, because he's never had a program to, you know, sort through everything. So, they said they do have a program. I'm talking to them, but, if we have to pay for it, I can go through my office to pay for it since I'm over his, we got a board.
Do we know the percentage of what was saved? As far as how much?
everything.
Everything.
He has to go through everything that was in the basement. Just, only thing that wasn't saved was furniture, our rolling shelves, where the books swelled up from the water. They had to pry it out, so they're no good, they're expensive. So we're hoping FEMA, I know Joni went over, with Chris over all the furniture that was lost.
We do have open FEMA cases for the documents, for everything that was lost, everything's being restored, all those expenses.
Fantastic.
You said 9 tractor trailer loads?
Yes, sir.
But we have all the documents.
All the documents are saved.
That's fantastic, really.
Now, one thing that we did have to do, we had to make a decision there on that was, they've been sanitized. They shot with gamma rays and killed everything that could be living in those, but they did not clean them. So they're gonna have to knock the dust and the dirt off of some of those. But that would be several $100,000 more if we had opted for that, and that just was not a good use of what we felt taxpayer money. So as they go through those, when they come in, they can clean those up.
And storage.
In storage, yes.
We are using the Ingles building for them to unload it.
No basement. No basement.
No basement. 'Cause we're putting it in the Ingles building, so.
For now.
Yeah, because they could have kept it stored for us, but it was gonna cost a lot of money. So as Chris goes through it, and he's gone through quite a bit, he's, separating to each office, because he has everybody's offices down there, so,
I wasn't expecting that. That's great.
yeah.
Mr. McMahon.
This money that the sheriff and your office is going to have to pay, is that included in this next fiscal year's budget?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
It is.
Any more questions?
And that should, the mayor can speak on that. Anything that we use where we had to be put somewhere else, I think, obviously FEMA is supposed to reimburse that, but like I said, call it what you're gonna do.
Up to a certain period, I believe that's gonna be classified just as the clerk, the Chancery Court, where they're having to pay rent and where our office has here. All those should be reimbursable. I just haven't checked specifically on those two, but I see no reason why they should be any different.
Chris just moved into his last week,
So how is that Ingles building though? I mean, it's in pretty bad shape to put that stuff in there right after we go through it. I mean, it's not.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's got a new roof on it, so.
Oh, that's finally.
Well, no, it had a new one when we bought it.
Yeah.
It had a new roof on it, so, I mean, it's not perfect, but it's the best thing that we've got.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine. I just wondered at one point it was in really bad shape or whatever, so.
they're putting it in the middle.
Okay.
That way you'll
Away
have the
from the
most
walls.
coverage away from the walls, away
Yeah.
from anything that can attach to it.
Okay.
And we're also looking at if we need to get like dehumidifiers,
Yeah.
anything to move the wind around, the air,
Yeah.
make sure that we can take as good a care of those documents as we
Yeah,
can.
okay.
It's better than what the basement was even before the flood.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any more questions? Do I have a motion to accept? Mr. Bright, Mr. Esslinger? We'll do a roll call on that.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Gayla Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp, Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Brock,
Yes.
Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Verdahl,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson. Thank you.
Motion approved. Thank you.
I
In the-
appreciate it.
In the matter of an approval for the Cocke County Opioid Abatement Task Force's recommendation to allocate $65,555 from county opioid settlement funds to the 4th Judiciary District Public Defender's Office for the purpose of hiring a new full-time social worker. Your copy's enclosed.
And that's not coming out of the county budget, that's just for the funds allocated out of the task force and voted out of the opioid task force.
What's this social worker going to do?
We're working in Mr. Dunn's office, the general Dunn's.
Working.
For the defender, not the prosecutor, but for the defender, I'm
Make a
sorry.
leap.
If you would like to step forward, you could.
Right here.
Thank you. So may not know, but I would say 80%, even more, of our clients that we represent, the public defender's office, have a substance use or a mental health or a co-occurring disorder. So really, it's a revolving door. We are representing the same clients every single time because of the substance use. So our proposal is to have a social worker dedicated to people that are in Cocke County as inmates, so that when they get out of jail, they will be immediately connected with recovery services. That social worker can do needs assessments and determine what type of services they need, connect them with those services. They have experience with filling out grant paperwork so they can get that paid for. Also, a lot of our clients do not have driver's license, transportation, being able to really get them in a place where they can move forward in the right direction, maybe for the first time.
Thank you, Ms.
Any other
Lee.
questions?
Any questions for
And
Ms.
we
Lee?
don't have a social worker at this point in Cocke County, is that correct, or are you adding another one, or?
So I have one full-time social worker that's paid for by the state for the entire 4th Judicial District. And so that's Sevier, Cocke, Granger,
Yeah.
and Jefferson. And so this social worker will just be working with, I have a master's level social worker, this will be a bachelor's level, working with her and really focusing on our community.
Just Cocke County?
Just Cocke County.
So I'm assuming this is a one-year salary, so after this year, where are those funds coming from, the same place? Or?
So they had indicated that we can reapply for that grant.
Okay. Okay, I was just wondering if it was gonna come back on the county at some point, if we start this, or is it gonna be 1 year? Or, I mean, you know, and if we don't get that, what happens then? Does the county pay for it?
It is essentially my understanding would be that it would just be like a grant that runs out.
That runs out, that's correct. So that person would not have a job, they would be advised of that coming in as a new hire, that this is a grant.
But it would be no maintenance favor on it.
Right, okay, all right.
Any more questions for Ms. Lee? So do we have a motion to approve? Ms. Miles, do I have a second? Mr. Bright? We don't. Roll call.
Yep.
Okay, roll call.
Andy Ford,
No.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Gayla Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp, Jonathan Templin,
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger,
Yes.
Dan Bright, Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Verdall,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. You got 10 for.
That motion is approved. Passed. In the matter of approval of a resolution to authorize a $12.50 charge by the clerk of every court in Cocke County having jurisdiction over state misdemeanors and felonies for a purpose authorized and set out in TCA 40-3-106, and your copies are enclosed. Who would address that, Mr. Mayor? Mr. Dunson. Thank you again for being here.
This again doesn't cost you any money, but you have to vote for it, for two-thirds of y'all have to vote for it to be in effect. But the legislature passed and the governor signed a bill to add to Tennessee Code Annotated 40-3-106, and for the clerk to add $12.50 on the court cost of every criminal warrant. And there's a couple of exceptions where it talks about non-moving violations. But that would be to promote public safety, and it'd be for the district attorney generals in multi-county districts. It's not for the major one county districts, and we have a few of those in the state of Tennessee. I have 4 counties in the 4th district, Cocke, Harrison, Granger, and Sevier County. And I have to go to each county and see if they will approve that by 2/3 majority. We have to make accounting for that, is, like I said, it's for, used for the promote public safety, but just as you heard about people, maybe public defenders, we have needs as well. So for the victims, we have to come up with plane tickets, bus tickets, gasoline charges, any kind of transportation you can think of to get victims back to come to court to testify in the case, and it can be quite costly. But in any event, if this would be put on the court cost, not everything that's put on the court cost is collected. All the courts will tell you that, some judges waive the cost, some don't, but it would help us pay for anything involving victims of crime in the 4th Judicial District. And I'll answer any questions. But we have to make a recording. If you have the time, I'll take just a second here. It says we should provide a corresponding report no later than February 15th of each year of the chair of the Judiciary Committee, the Senate Committee of the Senate, the chair of the Criminal Justice Committee of the House of Representatives, the chairs of Finance, Ways and Means Committees of the Senate and the House of Representatives, providing such information in the aggregate and by district. So this money would go to Nashville for the District Attorney General's Conference, and it would be held. It will not go back to the general fund at the end of the year for money's not spent. It will stay there in that fund, and we have to report every penny of what we do. And I'd ask you to consider voting for passing this resolution. I'll answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Dunn?
Just curious, the 4 counties, if one of them did, would it fail?
No, it can just be one county.
One county.
Scott,
I just didn't
you're
know
the
they
first
all
one.
had, I just didn't know they had to be, unanimous
No.
in that. Okay, all right.
Just your vote has to be at least 2
And I was
votes.
just curious about that. I was.
So this money's basically going in one big lump sum?
Yeah.
For you to disperse over the 4th Judicial District?
Yeah.
So what if, say, Sevier County doesn't vote for this? Will the money we elect,
No,
will it go into Jefferson? Or Sevier County?
It stays in Cocke County, in other
Yeah.
words. Okay.
It goes to the conference, our conference, it doesn't go to, used to go to the trustee. I mean, there are funds that goes to the trustee of the county. But this, according to this enactment, it goes to the District Attorney General's Conference, and it cannot be used for anything but the 4th Judicial District.
So when it says 4th Judicial District, it can be used for any of those counties within that district, even if they don't vote for it, correct? Yes.
Well, if I hired a person, I could hire somebody from Cocke County and keep them in Cocke County. I don't have to put them in.
But I'm just saying it could be though, right? I mean, that's the way it reads.
I suppose so.
Okay.
I'm trying to think how that might happen, but.
I know, but I'm just saying, there's a loophole to everything.
What I'm getting at, Jimmy, I mean, our county's suffering.
Yeah.
Right.
You've heard what CJ said tonight, we're bleeding to death. And if we're gonna do this, I'd like to see this money get spent here in Cocke County, what Cocke County provides, is what I'm getting at.
I don't know, and what I read and what I've been told, we talked about this in our conference meetings and things, and I don't know that I can put it in 4 counties, say, and like you say, if one of the other counties don't do that. And this has already been passed, I believe, in the public defenders, but this bill was just passed this year for the District Attorney General. But not every county has to vote for it. I mean, and if they just say no, they just say no. As long as I'm the district attorney, which may not be any more than one day, I don't know. if somebody doesn't vote for it, I'm not gonna do anything out of that fund. And it'll take a while, you know, not all the court costs don't get paid, you know. You could write it down all day long, but, you know, it doesn't get paid. Any other questions?
Any other questions for Mr. Dunn?
So if I understand correctly, General Dunn, is you can't specify which county it goes to, but you can specify that it only goes to participating counties.
Yes, I can do that. Good language, Mayor, thank you. And we can do it, we can do it.
So again, let me clear this up because I'm a little slow. If we vote yes and the other counties vote no, then the money stays in Cocke County.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, it goes to our conference, but it's only by my request that money can be used.
Okay.
Nobody else can do that. My director or anybody else can do that. And I mean, it just makes sense. And they made it broad enough, you know, for this, and made it broad enough that you can do. Because not everybody agrees with that, but this is one place where the defendant has to pay some costs. Sometimes the state pays that, and I really don't know how that works. Maybe the clerks know that, but lots of costs are never paid. They're levied, but they're never paid.
Any more questions for Mr. Dunn?
I was just asking, I just want good for Cocke County.
Yeah.
And I'm not shunning these other counties, because they bailed in and helped us when we needed it.
Yeah.
But we're bleeding to death here.
This is my home right here. Been my
I
home
understand.
for a bunch of years now. I was here 17 and a half years, let's see, 19, about right at 20 years now. And I was born up here on Lower English in a house on a Sunday morning. I'm not gonna tell you how many years ago that was, but yesterday's my birthday.
Well, happy later birthday.
You went to school with my mother, I know.
Okay, guys, any more questions? Do we have a motion to approve, Ms. Blazer? Mr. Hudson? We do a roll call vote on that. Thank you again, Mr. Dunn.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Andy Ford,
Yes.
Bill Miller,
Yes.
Gayla Blazer,
Yes.
Jason McMahon,
Yes.
Norman Smith, Tracy Stepp, Jeff Esslinger, Jonathan Templin, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Jeff Esslinger, thank you. Dan Bright,
Yes.
Wilma Ball,
Yes.
Rick Vassar,
Yes.
David Verdahl,
Yes.
Tim Lehman, Billy Hudson.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, that's 11-3.
That motion passed. Okay, we're to number 5, the miscellaneous. Do we have anything from anybody? Nothing. Do I have a motion to adjourn? Mr. Escalator, all in favor say aye.
Aye.